This is a video of Jumma Game Developer. Are you new here? So welcome, I'm Utsav Chakma and I'm the creator of this YouTube channel. This channel is created to teach Godot, Unity, Blender and Adobe Illustrator for beginners. Godot is the main game engine of this channel. It means you'll get Godot videos here usually, but today's video is different. Today is tutorial of Blender about the basics of Blender, such as how to move around, how to create different objects, etc. Blender can create 3D models for your game, and game development is the main topic. And as it Blender helps creating games, that so it is in list of tutorials of Jumma Game Developer. We will see one day how to take Blender files under your game. Also tutorials of modeling, creating vehicles, humans, trees, etc. will be also uploaded in future. For now, let's learn the basics. Well, I have to say something to you guys. That is, if you don't have graphics card, so you can't run Blender 2.8, right? You should run 2.79. But I have a tutorial video on how to use Blender without a graphics card, Blender 2.8. Yes, exactly, I am saying all right. You can do like that. Link in description. I have that video. Move to the description of this video to see how to run Blender without graphics card and the Blender 2.8. But the problem is the PC will lag. But that's not a problem. Other things work exactly as expected. I even don't have graphics card. I am using Blender with that method that I given on the tutorial video. So what's it if you want to use Blender 2.8 without graphics card? So when you will open Blender, you will see a window like this. It is just a start menu, you can say. You can see I have created some files before. There are some things that I haven't created. I have just downloaded and watched them. Okay, whatever, let's not talk about those things. To close this window, you can click outside of it. What if I click here? Click the outside of that window and you will be presented to the basic window every time you will get when you open Blender. And that window is this. A cube, this is a camera, and this is a point light. The cube is already selected. I didn't know about it. You can deselect it by clicking outside. Oh, it is not selected. Oh, okay, now it is deselected as I have clicked outside of the Blender. If you again click on the cube by moving the mouse on it, it will be selected. My PC is getting slow because I am using CPU instead of GPU. I can't explain here why CPU can't handle GPU things, because it can take time. I'll just show you the basics of Blender. With the middle mouse button, if you click on this viewport, not here, or this on this window, not on this window too, not on this windows too, clicking on the viewport and not clicking by dragging the middle mouse button, clicking the middle mouse button, you can see how it moves. You will be familiar if you are new to these kinds of movements. It will be very easy one day if you don't know how to move like this, if you stay practicing, and then it will actually move around a center of anything. And then if you hold shift and then move the middle mouse button, you can see you are panning. It's called panning. If you don't know what means panning, it is actually the thing you are seeing like this on here. It will drag the mouse without orbiting anything, and then if you want to rotate around an object, you should focus on it first, then you can rotate around it. But you are not focused on the cube. You can see it is focused on this line and it is rotating around this point. To rotate around the cube, you should first focus on the cube. First select the cube, then press the dot key on the numpad buttons. I can see something right at DEL. Find that button and click on it, and Blender will focus on this object, and you can now rotate around the cube, and you can see how it should look like. and this is how you will rotate around and pan and do some things like that. Okay. Now there are some works with numpad button. There is something called orthographic mode. If you press numpad 5, you will see it. The world is flattened around you in 2D, like something like 2D. If you don't understand what is 2D, if you get okay, let's not talk about it. It's something like 3D. 3D and 2D is something that you should understand, but you would not now need to understand about it. Another key, that is numpad 1. If you press numpad 1, it will show the front side of your world origin. Not world origin, actually your viewport point is current. Your viewport point is currently on the center of the cube, and if you press numpad 1, it will move to the front. If you press numpad 7, it will move to up. If you press numpad 3, it will move to the right side. I think. Let's see. Yeah, it is move. It moved to the right side. My PC is lagging, so you will not understand correctly how it is moving. But in your PC, if you have graphics card, you will not have this problem. And pressing numpad 9, what it will do is actually it will move to the opposite side of your view. If I'm viewing from this position, it will view to the from the opposite position of what you are viewing currently, such as like this. I press numpad 9 and it moved to the opposite side of the view. It didn't move as I expected, but it went to the opposite side of y and x. Okay, whatever, you will not understand what is y and x if you are new. You will understand it later. Stay watching my tutorials on this YouTube channel. You will understand one day everything of Blender, because I will explain them. Okay. Now if you press numpad 4, it will move left side like this, you can see. If you press numpad 6, it will move to the opposite, right side. Pressing numpad 8 will move up. Pressing numpad 2 will move down. So finally, every numpad key, every numpad keys are actually important to do some viewing. You will one day find why it is useful to use numpad keys or keyboard keys. Today I will just showing you the basic selection. How do you select and delete or duplicate object? Let's discuss duplicate and deleting later, because right now it is not possible to show you if you don't know how to move the things fast. It is like pressing a file on the file explorer. You will just left click with the mouse by moving the object you want to select, and it will be selected. If you want to select the camera, move the mouse to the camera and select and left click, and this is this pink thing. I don't understand what is this at this time. And if you want to select the light, move the mouse to the light and left click with the mouse, then it will select the light. Now how to move an object, how to rotate it, and how to scale it up and down, change the size. Well, those are under this. And before Blender 2.8, those moving and scaling and other tools were on this left side, but it is not, they are not now there. They are separated in different kinds of things, such as move, rotating and scaling tools are right here right now. If you select this, enable this, you will see an error like, oh, it is not a bug, it is the problem is this, that I don't have a GPU, and so it is behaving like. If you move this, you can see by holding that this arrow, you can drag and see it is moving along the that exists, that arrow what you have selected. And pressing Ctrl G will undo your movement, rotation or scale. Then the rotate tool, if you enable it, you will see another gizmo. You will, as I had show you how to move an object, Oh, here is the scale tool. You can see it scales up in the axis you have selected, like this. In, you will understand if you have sense of humor like normal people. It pressing a certain color of arrow will make you uh, translate things on that certain axis, certain arrows axis. There is another thing that is called local. I don't think you will need it, but it will actually move even if you rotate it differently, and will be, you know, okay, you will not understand it. So that's the things that you need. There are keyboard shortcuts too to move this. The keyboard shortcuts are G for grab, R for rotate, S for scale. Grab is translating. It will work like this move tool. How that works? Well, if you move the mouse on here, you don't need to select. I mean, you should select the object, but you should move the mouse anywhere you want. Then press G, and you will see it is moving along the, not along, by following, almost following the mouse translation. And if you press left mouse button, then it will make the object where you have put it on. Control Z to move where it was, then if you press G, I mean grab, then press right mouse button, it will not actually move there to the object will not move there where it should move. If it will move and stay that on that place only when you press the left mouse button, like I pressed right now, and it moved to there. Control Z to move it there. Okay, G is for grab. If you press this grab R, I mean G, R and S to scale, grab it on somewhere, I mean moving it and rotate it somewhere. You can also press X, Y and Z, which are the axes on this: X, the red line, Y, the green line, and DZ, the blue one. It is actually not visible right now. It is actually from up to down. You can make it visible, but let's not make it visible right now because I don't have time and wasting too much time explaining. If you now press R and move the mouse, you can see the cube is rotating. The same, if you press left mouse button, it will stay. If you don't press left mouse button, instead you press right mouse button, it will not stay like it would. I press now left mouse button, it stayed. I pressed right mouse button, it didn't. Then the scale, same for the scale. If you press S and press the left mouse button, it will stay, and if you don't, it will not stay. I mean, if you press right mouse button, then it will not stay. I pressed left mouse button, it stayed. I pressed right mouse button, it didn't stay. So that's about transforming. Now can you add more objects except of this box? Yes, you can. You can even make this cube, this box, to turn it into a complex shape. You will don't need to understand right now about those complex shapes as you are a beginner. Stay tuned if you are a beginner and you want to make complex shapes with Blender. I will of course upload videos about it. And then what the thing is, creating objects. Okay, if you press Shift and A, Blender will show you a new window. You can see a lot of options here. You don't need to see them all. Just move to mesh and play around with these shapes. that are different from each other, almost different, but they are using actually same data type as the box you are seeing currently on here is using. Shift A, and let's create the sphere, and it's under the box and you will not able to see, so I'm grabbing it with G, and you can see it is a round ball. You can, as I show you, focus with the numpad del, it will focus on that object you have selected. If you don't have any object selected, then it will not do anything. Now press the cube, press the del to focus on it, and it will focus on that object too. Now you will understand why focus is needed. Let's show you guys now how to duplicate and delete. To delete an object, you can just press the delete key like this, and the delete key on the keyboard actually, and it will get deleted. If you press Ctrl and Z, hold Ctrl and press Z, then it will undo the deletion and make the sphere come again. Here is the name of these objects. You can select from here. I have forgot to show you guys that, such as this cube is this. If you select that, don't want to select this object on this window, you can select this on this window, and if you want to select this sphere, you can, and if you press outside of the same window, it will deselect it. And how to delete? We will not need this camera and light for this tutorial, so let's show you guys how to delete. Also selecting multiple objects with Control is like this. Press by objects by holding Control and pressing Shift and press Shift and select the objects you want to select, and now then you can press delete key on the keyboard and it will get deleted. Now how to duplicate? Shift D and it will duplicate and make another object like it. Same for the cube, like this. And there are also some modes to do complex things, creating complex shapes. Let me show you quickly how to create complex shapes. I will not explain what I am doing. I will just show you making a complex shape. Whole new kind of mesh. The box is now something that is almost like a stair. Whatever. It's not the day to teach you guys everything. I will teach one by one of these things, editing, texturing, those things, and it will help on game development too. So that's why I am uploading Blender tutorials. Actually, you can select different modes from here, and these modes help you on texturing. I mean, texturing is like painting. Edit mode is like creating complex shapes. Vertex are in rigging, you will not understand it. The sculpt mode is a little bit easy, and you will understand them one day. I will upload tutorials one day about them. But for today, these are the basics of Blender 2.8. It is actually a beta 2.9, but same with the 2.8 version. I had downloaded this 2.9 beta before, I think 2021, so I have missed to show you some features. I will show them on the next videos. Okay, that's all today for creating Blender tutorial. So stay tuned for the next video about modeling, creating complex shapes. If this video helped you, like it. For more tutorials for Blender beginners, move to my channel. If you are from future, you'll see my channel is with a lot of Blender tutorials. Or just by subscribing Jumma Game Developer, you will get tutorial videos more easily. You are also allowed to share this video. That's all today. Stay safe, stay healthy, happy game developing. Bye.